Hello everyone. Today I am going to present a literature survey on the topic image registration for medical imaging. So, introduction. Registration is the process of establishing spatial correspondences between the images. In a spatial transformation, each point of an image is mapped to another point in a new coordinate system. It allows for the alignment and transfer of key information and across subjects and atlases. So, registration is a central technique in many medical imaging applications. Now let's see how the medical image registration is performed. So this is the general workflow. The initial step is image acquisition, wherein the medical images are acquired via different modalities like CT, MRI, PET, and ultrasound. Then comes the pre-processing steps. These may be performed before registration to reduce noise, enhance the images, or highlight specific anatomy through segmentation. Feature identification. Key features are identified from the images such as edges, corners, or other landmarks that are visible in both the datasets. Then the registration algorithm is applied. The classical registration algorithm is basically classified into two parts. One is the feature based registration, which involves identifying common features, then rotating the dataset so the features become aligned to the other dataset. The second is intensity based registration. This compares the intensity values of the two datasets and finds a rotation that minimizes the difference between the two. Hybrid registration basically combines both the feature and intensity based registration to improve accuracy. Validation. The registered images are then reviewed for accuracy using the metric that evaluates the relationship between the two variables. Then post processing is applied. It may require further processing such as segmentation to extract useful information. Now, the first step is feature extraction. It is basically a widely used technique to detect and match distinct features such as points, edges, or regions. So, there are basically two techniques in this: feature detection and feature matching. The most common feature detectors used are SIFT, SURF, and ORB. I will first give you a brief overview of a feature descriptor. Feature descriptor is basically an algorithm that helps classify the features as feature vectors, which are basically number representations of the encodings. They are basically classified into two types. Local descriptor is one which is a compact representation of the point's local neighborhood, whereas the global descriptor describes the whole image. The widely used feature descriptors are: first one is SIFT. So it basically detects the key points that are scale and rotation invariant, making it robust to different image resolutions. It uses different of Gaussian techniques to locate stable key points across the scale. The SURF is a faster alternative to SIFT that uses integral images for quick computations. So instead of Gaussians, it applies the Hessian matrix based approach to detect blobs in an image. ORB is basically a computationally efficient alternative to SIFT and SURF. It is suitable for real time applications due to its low computational cost. Now, the next step is feature matching. Feature matching is basically used to match the features in the two datasets. So, graph theory was first introduced by Euler in the 18th century, and it has been extensively applied in pattern recognition and medical imaging since the 1970s. It involves finding corresponding vertices between the two graphs. The traditional graph matching approach relies on adjacency matrix, but computing full pairwise adjacency matrix is computationally expensive. So, in this paper, Zhao et al.'s approach is factorized graph matching, which decomposes the adjacency matrix into submatrices to reduce the computational complexity. This technique speeds up the feature relationship modeling and makes matching more efficient. It works best for rigid transformation, not ideal for applications involving non-rigid transformation like the tissue deformations. So there were some advances like geomatch by Wang et al. So the geomatch is a feature matching technique that enhances the accuracy and speed by incorporating scene geometry constraints and statistical analysis. The next step is mismatch removal. So after features are identified, mismatches can significantly degrade the registration accuracy. So, to refine the alignment, mismatch removal is a crucial step. So, these are the three most commonly used methods for removal. The first and most widely used is random sample consensus. It is an iterative algorithm used to estimate a transformation model while removing outliers. It selects a random subset of matched points, computes a transformation model, and determines inliers, that is, the correct matches based on a predefined threshold. The next is mismatch removal via coherent spatial mapping. This is an advanced mismatch removal technique based on thin plate splines which model smooth deformations. It removes mismatches by identifying pairs that are spatially inconsistent with the expected transformation. Then the third is vector field consensus. It estimates a smooth motion vector field that aligns the feature points while minimizing the mismatches. The mismatches are detected as points that do not conform to the consensus vector field. The registration can be considered as a minimization problem because here the goal of the this problem is to align a moving image with a fixed image by finding a transformation that maps points in one image to the corresponding points in the another. So the main goal is to estimate the transformation vector v, which maps the fixed domain to the moving domain. The registration algorithm optimizes such that the transformed image f closely matches the fixed image t. A cost function, which is represented here by c, measures the similarity between the moving image and the fixed image. Additionally, the smoothness constraints are imposed on v to ensure physically plausible transformations. Now, these cost functions are defined using the similarity metric. Now, how do we define the similarity metric? So there are the most commonly used metrics are first one is the sum of square differences. It is used in image registration to see how similar two images are by computing the squared intensity differences at corresponding pixel locations. So it computes the pixel wise square difference, and a lower SSD value indicates better alignment. A higher value suggests more dissimilarity. So it is sensitive to intensity changes, meaning that difference in brightness or contrast can significantly affect this result. This cost function is often used in tasks where intensity comparisons are valid, such as rigid or affine transformations. However, it may not be ideal for cases with changes in lighting or contrast. So, to solve this problem, we have another normalized cross correlation technique. It is widely used similarity measure in image registration. So unlike the SSD, it is robust to intensity changes like brightness and contrast variations. It measures how similar two images are but is invariant to linear intensity changes. Better alignment is indicated by higher values. It is useful in multimodal registration because it normalizes the intensities. The next is mutual information. It is a measure of the amount of information that two random variables share. It quantifies how much knowing one variable reduces the uncertainty about the another. So it is basically given by three equations. So first one is computing the joint entropy. This measures the total uncertainty in the system containing both random variables a and b. If they are independent, the joint entropy is simply the sum of their individual entropies. Mutual entropies have this equation that shows the mutual information is the reduction in the total entropy when knowing one variable. It represents the amount of shared information between A and B. Then finally, the last equation is the application to the cost function. This suggests that the cost function is formulated as the negative of the mutual information. This could be used in applications like image registration or segmentation, where maximizing MI helps align images by finding transformations that make the shared information maximal. Then comes the transformation model. There are basically classified into two categories, that are global transformation models and deformable models. As you can see, here are the representations: rigid transformation, affine transformation, projective, and nonlinear. So now the key question is, which type of transformation best preserves the anatomical structures? We'll look through each of these one by one. So the rigid transformation is basically allows the sixth degree of freedom, that is 3 for rotation and 3 for translation. Since these allows only rotation and translation, it is called rigid registration. So the this matrix is basically a product of these three matrices. Rotations ensure that moving image is aligned correctly with the fixed image. Translation adjusts the image's position after rotation. No scaling or shearing occurs, ensuring the image shape is preserved. This rigid transformation model is commonly used in medical image registration and 3D point cloud alignment. So yeah, this is the most common algorithm used in the for rigid registration. So iterative closest point is a point cloud registration algorithm employed to minimize the difference between two cloud of points. A point cloud is a set of 2D or 3D points. The iterative point algorithm keeps one point cloud, the reference target, fixed while transforming the other, the source, to best match the reference. So it basically consists of two steps. First is the data association. This can be done using simple nearest neighbor approach. Iterate over one point cloud and look for the closest point. The second step takes this data association and tries to find the transformation so that those two point clouds are moved on top of each other. So basically minimize the distance between two point pairs. This is done using two steps. First is to compute the center of mass of the corresponding points and then shift the points to fall on top of each other. Second step computes the optimal rotation using SVD so that points are better aligned with each other. So we repeat these steps, recompute the data association and alignment until we converge. The next is affine transformation. It extends the rigid transformation by allowing the scaling shearing, enabling more flexibility while maintaining the linearity. The most common methods used for the affine transformation are least square method. To use the least square methods, you need to map to parameters or unknowns. Least squares methods for affine registration refers to a technique where you use the least square optimization algorithm to find the best affine transformation parameters that align two images by minimizing the sum of squared intensity differences between corresponding pixels after applying the transformation, essentially finding the best fit alignment between the images. So the least square basically does this in three steps. So computing the error function, uh, this can be expanded and written as this, and after we normalize and solve it we get this equation. Then we compute the gradient, and then if A transpose A is a invertible matrix, then we get the then we solve it for P. So this gives us the best fitting parameters that minimize the sum of squared errors. The next is intensity based registration. So in this the image are compared for alignment based on the intensity values. So we take an image and move it until we find the best fit alignment. So initially, as you can see, the histogram contains randomly scattered points. Once this image is mapped closely and is fitted exactly over this image, you can see that the it represents a linear set of points, which shows that it has been perfectly aligned. Next is the deformable registration. It is essential for handling shape variations between the images. Unlike rigid and affine models, deformable registration allows local transformation. So the common approaches include B-splines, which use smooth basis functions to model complex deformations, and second is elastic registrations. This models transformations as elastic deformations. This is particularly useful in applications such as tumor tracking and organ segmentation. Here you can see the registration results of a moving and fixed MR image of the brain from two different subjects using the rigid transformation. This is the affine transformation. This is the deformable registration. Now, recent advancements have used the machine learning approaches for doing this uh, transformation functions from data. One of the most widely used technique is the voxel morph, which is a non-iterative pairwise deformable image registration. It requires affinely registered images for training. Fixed and moving images are concatenated and fed into a unit-based network. Then the network optimized to predict a smooth deformation field. There are also other methods like ADMR and ICNet which have been used since then. The next is the hybrid methods. These basically combine the multiple techniques to leverage their strengths and improve the overall performance. So, first one is the feature based with intensity based. This applies feature registration to achieve initial alignment, then followed by the intensity based registration for fine tuning. It is effective because feature based methods provide robustness to large transformations, while intensity based methods refine local accuracy. Then comes the model based and learning based hybrid method. These combine the traditional model based approaches like affine, B spline, and thin plate splines, while learning based methods with the learning based methods like the deep learning and CNNs. The model based techniques provide structured transformation, while learning based methods capture the complex transformations. Finally, the last step is the optimization, which involves solving an optimization problem to achieve accurate alignment between the images. The objective is to minimize the dissimilarity measures by identifying optimal set of transformation parameters. Advanced optimization algorithms commonly employed include the numerical Gauss-Newton minimization method and the gradient descent optimization. These methods iteratively update the transformation parameters by computing the gradient or the Hessian matrix of the dissimilarity measure. Navigating the parameter space by following the gradient direction or using a suitable step size allows these algorithms to converge towards the optimal solution. However, during optimization, various errors can occur, as shown in this figure. So, first is the localization error. This arises when a key point is not accurately detected, causing their coordinates to shift. It can be minimized by using a good detection algorithm. Then the other one is a matching error. This measures the quality of key point detections by counting the number of false matches between the control point candidates. And the last one is the alignment error, which arises when there are geometric distortions between the image that deviate from the expected mapping model used for registration. Now, after these methods, there are a few challenges like complexity in choosing and implementing the similarity metric. Selecting similarity metric is very crucial in the registration process. However, accurately estimating these measures, especially in the presence of noise and spatial variation, pose significant challenges. Then there are other outliers and data quality. Addressing outlier and rejecting erroneous data points is another ongoing medical challenge in image registration. Optimization convergence. The convergence of optimization methods to local maxima presents a significant obstacle in the registration process. It plays a crucial role in finding the optimal transformation between the images, but the risk of converging to the local minima can compromise the registration accuracy. Then there is geometric distortion, which is a common issue in remote sensing images, which poses a significant challenges in medical imaging as well. Strategies for addressing these challenges include advanced transformation models, robust similarity measures, and optimization algorithms. Future research in medical image registration will focus on AI driven automation, multimodal registration, real time application, robustness, explainability, and AR VR integrations. The combination of deep learning with traditional models and improving model generalization across diverse datasets will be crucial for advancing the field. Thank you.